Welcome to Life as I Know It. I'm Ray.
And I'm Felicia, and we own an independent grocery store called DeMarco's in Ontario. I am also a local real estate agent.
Thanks for popping by this channel where we discuss business and finance.
I sold my company after hearing these 11 words.
Let's go.
It was 2020 at the height of the pandemic. Felicia and I were burnt out beyond belief because the store was busier than it had ever been. We were working 24/7, running around to 3 different wholesalers, unloading deliveries, stocking shelves, taking curbside orders. The store was insanity. And after hearing these 11 words from a regular customer, it wasn't a billionaire CEO or a YouTube guru, I knew that my life path would be changed forever. My perspective on money had changed completely. So after this grueling day of Felicia and I running around, serving customers and dealing with whatever we could to keep this store stocked, she looked at both of us before leaving. And it's a regular customer that I know. It's almost like a friend. And I had told her, you know what? At least we're making money. We can pay all of our bills. We can buy things now. We can finally keep the store fully stocked with inventory. And she said these 11 words: you do not pay your bills with money. You pay them with time. That's when I realized, even though we own this small business, we were simply trading our time for money, which was exactly what I was trying to get away from. Because truthfully, we've all been tricked. Money is never the currency. The currency is time. Your time is something you will never be able to replace. Money, you can always make more money. But I'm telling you, when you're on your deathbed, you're not going to be wishing for more money or checking your banking app to see how much money you have in it. You'll simply be wishing for more time with people. I remember reading or seeing an old video where they asked a 19-year-old broke student what he wanted in life. And he said, well, I want to be rich. I want to have cars. I want to date, hot girls. And they said, that's fine. You want to be rich? Why don't you trade your life with Warren Buffett? You could have all the money in the world. And you can probably guess his answer was he would never trade his life because he is at the epitome of his youth, where Warren Buffett just has the money. You see, we know time is the most valuable thing on earth, yet we treat it like garbage, spending hours scrolling through social media, watching girls twerk on Instagram, or reading self-help books and never taking action. It was at that moment where I heard these 11 words that I knew it was time to move on from my business. You see, we were our own boss. We were playing entrepreneur. But at the end of the day, and I never say this on this channel because I don't want to discourage anybody, when you own a small business, the small business owns you. I never want to be part of the labor force again. But this business is very hard to scale. So I knew it was time to put it up for sale in 2020. And it's the hardest decision we have ever made in our lives to do this. As you can see, it's 2023 and it is officially for sale. Because we worked 24/7 for the last 6 years, pretty much 7 if you count, all the work to do the renovations. And it almost feels like we're giving up. But I know that there's a burning desire in Felicia and I to move on and do something else that we truly want. that will give us our time back. Another business may be just as demanding for the first year, but the ability to scale a business is where you end up finding freedom from that business. Now you could say you could hire people and have them run it for you, but you are truly always tied down to this business. I'll give you an example. We have a friend who owns 2 cafes, 2 locations, and he has 4 or 5 staff at each. You would think he's able to take a day or 2 off in a row. But I can tell you, every single time I'm with him, when he has a so-called day off, he either gets called in, someone calls in sick, there's a fire to put out, he's picking up inventory, he's running between locations, making sure there's not a fire to put out. With a small business, there's a lot of luxuries, but there is a lot of responsibility that you will never have at a 9-to-5. You become a 7-to-7 worker with all the risk and responsibility that your boss had for little to no money for the first few years. And then it becomes rewarding. It becomes an achievement that you'll never find with any other job. So what can I tell you with that last sentence? It is a very conflicting situation, hence why it's taken me and Felicia 3 years to make this decision. You love it and you hate it at the same time. But if it wasn't for that situation with our customer, who's probably pushing 80 now, that wisdom that told me money is not the currency. Your time is always the currency. And the system and the script or the matrix, whatever you want to call it, has convinced everyone that they're supposed to be trading 5 days a week to have 2 days a week off, in order to be able to retire when you're old and whether maybe in poor health. Because you're trading 5 days of your youthful time for 2 days of rest in order to have days off in the future in your elderly time. Keep that in mind when you have to work extra hours at a job that you don't like. Keep that in mind when you really have been in the same position for the last 6-7 years, complaining day in and day out, or you always have a bad day at your job for some reason. It's because you simply don't enjoy it. And this video is probably all I know truthfully about money. Money is just a currency that people have been tricked to follow and pursue and find the greed and buy materialistic things, when they're not valuing the actual thing they can never replace, which is time. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk, everybody. I hope you watched this video and really enjoyed it. And for all those people that are in the grocery industry or starting a grocery business or retail business, I know I've spoken on this channel many times about how amazing this business can be. And it truthfully can be amazing. But you will be sacrificing just like you would for another job or business. And maybe you can do it much better than me. Maybe you can find that perfect balance. But me, I wasn't. My passion truly wasn't in it. And maybe that is the key. My passion truly didn't guide me to find something to solve this problem that I'm currently in. Have a good night, everybody. Thank you.